I don't like you either.
Joey, please. Speak that. We pull crazier stuff than this. Bloop. That smells stinky. Happy beef.
Hello, what have we here?
Light it up. I want to go home and rethink my life.
Same thing I always do, talk my way out of it.
The kind stole a freighter.
Well done. You're a rebel now.
It was a cheap move.
Grogu, he goes by Baby Yoda's. It's weird.
Get your head out of your cockpit. I need some pizza, bucko.
Roger, roger.
No, no, that's the one I'm pointing to. No, no, no!
I believe he's tooling with you.
My tricks don't work on make all the money.
Where's my boyfriend? Hello there. I like that looking.
Be careful not to trip. This deal is getting worse all the time.
We're not done yet.
My powered aggressive negotiations.
Begun, the live stream has.
What do you say we get this live stream started? Hey everybody, welcome to the live stream. Good evening, good morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. How's it going? Let's talk about that episode of The Mandalorian, Chapter 23. The Spies? The Spies? Right? Okay, I want to know, like, right off the bat. Who are the spies? Tell me. Leave in the chat. I want to see who's in the spies. Channel members, welcome. Make sure to drop those blue buckets occasionally. Look, you already are. You guys are already blowing up the chat with a bunch of blue buckets. I love to see it. I love to see it. Yeah, man. Let's just talk. I said I was going to do this. I wanted to do it earlier, but I put out a different video, and I didn't want them to intersect. So I was like, well, we'll do a late night. I'm going to be up late anyways. Usually, figures most of you guys will be here anyway. So let's see how this goes. I want to know here, who are the spies? Come on, Swami, tell me who the spies are. Are we thinking it's the armorer? Are we thinking it's someone else? Those other Mandos with the pirate ship? What do we think? What do we think? Let me know. Let me know. Because I'm so curious. I am so curious as to where you all are at with this. We had some theories and some speculation. Perfect placement, by the way. Thank you over on Twitch for dropping that one in there. That's awesome. Love it. Just perfect. Wait, what windows I got pulled up? It's so bright. It's very bright. That would be Shop Disney. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check out the video from earlier, where I looked at the 90s stuff. Oh boy. Oh boy. How long does that stay up there? 30 seconds? Let's see here. Let me get caught up with the chat here. What do we got? Oh, see, Kevin Morris drop. Anyone think we'll see Boba, Cobb, or even Luke? Kevin, I think all three of those are on the table for next week. I think all three of those are on the table for next week. Boba and Cobb, I think, are higher, in my opinion. I think we're more likely to see them than we will Luke. But I don't know. Armorer is definitely a spy. Yeah, you think so? Armorer? Rest in peace, Paz. Oh boy. Paz. I was just sent this really cool Paz figure from Hasbro, and I was so stoked on it. I was like, oh, look at, oh, of course, my autofocus isn't going to work right now because my camera's being funny. But I've got a Paz Vizsla. I'm gonna take some pictures. I'm gonna bust out my Praetorian guards. I need to dig them out. And actually, see this little BB-8 right here? That's not just like a full-size droid. That's half a droid, but it opens up into a playset that looks like a First Order like warehouse or whatever, or like First Order ship, the inside of First Order ship. It's a really cool playset. But I was gonna put Paz like on there and put some Praetorian guards around it and take some fancy photos. I still might do it tonight. We'll see how I feel. But man, now that everybody knows and everybody's watched the episode, Wallace, how's it going, sir? Interrupted us from watching Magic Journey. Oh no. Oh, do they have a new video eating food at Batu? All right, I'm probably gonna watch that after this. I love that. I love them. They're the best. They really are. I've known them forever. 27 years. 7 years. Probably last month was since the first in March of 2015. Yeah, when the first time I met McV. I love that dude. Him and Janelle are the best. They're seriously the best. You think we'll see Boba in the finale? I think so. I do think so. I have a feeling. Well, but we need to talk Mando. Hey, you got priorities. Got to have priorities, right? Excuse me. You're not a fan of the new merch either? Yeah, me either. I wish it was cool. I was so excited. I really was so excited. I was like, this is going to be awesome. It's going to be 90s. I love the 90s. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars in the 90s. And they went a different direction entirely. Wallace says, I think Boba and Cobb make sense. All right, fair enough. Mike is saying spies are the gal on Coruscant and the survivors they found on planet. So, yeah. Elia Kane on Coruscant. The episode opens up with her being so she's definitely one of the spies, right? She's a spy. Title's called Spies, plural. So, who are the other spies? And the survivors they found on... I think the survivors they found on planet could be. They very well could be. Now, you think anyone's going to kick the bucket in the next week's episode? What if it's Din? I've been saying the last couple weeks, this is now the Bo-Katan show. I say having Din get killed off, I don't know what that does for the show. Like, that's a bold move to do that. But I think it's a possibility. I wouldn't say it's a 0% chance. I don't think it's a high possibility because it's Mando, right? Everyone, like, it's Mando. It would be weird. It'd be a weird move to cut out Mando. But when we opened this show, he was really the only one we ever saw. He was a like Mandalorian rarity. And the only other ones we saw were the Armorer, Paz, and they were kind of hidden underground till the end of the season when a bunch of them, helped him fight on Navarro, and we saw a few more, and we're like, okay, cool, there's a handful out there. Now there's so many Mandalorian that we're seeing. They're about to take Mandalore back. It's gotten much bigger than just Din. It's a lot bigger than just Din. We got Bo-Katan, we got Casca Reeves, we got Axe Woves, the Armorer, whatever she's up to. Grogu's a Mandalorian now. He's got armor even. Different kind of armor, but that's still armor. I think if Din were to die, we'd still all tune in for season 4. Right? I would. I'm still going to watch. I don't think you're going to lose viewers if you do that. It's going to be sad, and it's going to be one of the most talked about things ever if that happens. But just putting it out there, it wouldn't turn me away from the show. I'd still watch. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but now that I do, I'm like, it wouldn't ruin the show for me. I'm still in it. So, I don't know. Don't think the Armorer is the spy, as Moff was surprised when his spy told him Mandalorian hit Navarro. Yeah? Okay. Okay. But what's she up to then? What's she up to? What's she up to? The first I Will Go, the White Owl. Oh, Casca Reeves. I think that was, Casca Reeves. I don't know what she's up to. She seems loyal, though. She seems like she's loyal to Bo. Pirates and the Mandalorians that are on Moff's side. Yeah, let's talk about those. The new troopers, the Beskar armored trooper. Do we have a name for those troopers yet? Did they release that? I didn't see all day. Oh man, is the actor's contract? No, it's not up. At least I don't think it is. That's not, and I have no reason to say that other than they've captured him. They've captured Din. It would be huge if they killed him off. Imagine the news that would make. But also, while also making huge news, it wouldn't, at this point in the story, it wouldn't detract a whole lot. Like, it wouldn't ruin the story. He's not the main character anymore. So, I'm just putting it out there. You know, it's just speculation. I have no real reason to think they would do it. Again, I don't think the chances are high. But I do think there's a chance. I did expect Din biting the dust with that last scene, right? That's what I'm saying. He's captured. So, I don't know. Spies are the Armorer and Axe Wolves. Both took off. They did both take off. For different reasons. I mean, Axe Wolves took off to help. He took off to get more people. And there's still an entire ship orbiting the planet right now. Full of the rest of the Mandalorians. I just rewatched it. And Bo-Katan says, I need some volunteers from both sides. I don't want the whole... She says, a small scout team, a small scout party to go and do it. So the group that's there that just got ambushed, that's a small part. There are many more Mandalorian that are waiting to come down. And it's going to be probably a really, really awesome fight next week. I mean, imagine the fighting we've been seeing. Last week we saw Bo-Katan and Axe Wolves fight. There's a lot of those like jetpack fighting moves that, like, it's like a normal fight, like a punch, but with a jetpack behind it, like a flying punch, or like a drop kick, or a knee to the face because the jetpack went up. There's been really cool fights going on with those jetpacks. And I just imagine next week's going to be insane. It's going to be so insane. They almost killed Mando, and I was losing my mind. Don't you think if they were going to do it, they would have last night? No, save it for... If they're going to do something that big, save it for the finale. So go big on that finale. But letting Grogu lose Din, I know, think about it. It kind of hurts your heart a little bit. But Grogu's got armor now. He's got armor. I bet, you know what I bet? I bet next week we see either IG-12, which is now the new name, right? IG-12. I bet we see IG-12 with Grogu inside, either blasting like crazy, and him like, giggling, going, yes, 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 while blasting like all kinds of craziness, or yes, 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 with the lightsaber after Luke shows up. Just something like that I think is possible. I think Luke showing up isn't needed, and I would prefer it not happen, but there's no other way I can think of getting a lightsaber into Grogu's hand. And I think seeing IG-11, like just the prospect of an IG droid with a Baby Yoda inside wielding a lightsaber going crazy would also break the internet next week. Everyone would lose their minds over the thought of that. Just seeing it on screen, be like, wait, how the heck, like what? An IG droid spinning around like crazy, doing crazy lightsaber moves, while Grogu's in there just giggling, hitting a yes, 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 like spinning around with the controllers, would be the coolest thing ever. So, thank you, General Wallace. Thank you, the baby youngest IG-12 fund. That was pretty cool. I think maybe Baby Youngest needs one of those.
Yeah, you need to give me one of those. I need a... Oh, you like my new shirt? But I need a robot just like that. I need an IG-13. Just for me. Because I'm rated PG-13, you know? We'll just call my droid that, PG-13. He's a droid. He's got a little sass mouth like little Baby Youngest does. Except for he can't eat tacos. He doesn't eat them and he don't eat pizza because robots can't have that. I wish they could. It makes me a little sad. Think about it. But it would be pretty cool how a PG-13 droid can whip some legs. Thank you for your super chat, bucko.
Baby Youngest. Baby Youngest riding in his droid. PG-13. I will revolt if Din dies. Grogu would leave an adorable trail of... Right? It would be the best thing ever. It would be the best thing ever. Moff will definitely... I do think Moff will definitely die. I do think Moff will definitely die. He hasn't taken the creed and he can't talk yet. Okay, true, he isn't officially Mandalorian. That's a good point, Cat Shepherd. It's a very good point. Cheerful Cupcake. I think Moff will live till the movie, but die in the film. Okay. Okay. So one of the things that came out, I want to say last week before Celebration or during Celebration, was, I don't know who it was in an interview. It might have been Rick Famuyiwa or Filoni or even Favreau. But someone in an interview said that the next 2 episodes, so last night's or today's and next week's, wrap up, they tie up everyone's story. They didn't make it sound like it was final, because we know there's another season. There's going to be a season 4. That's already been worked on. We know that. That is confirmed. But they still said that these last 2 episodes are going to wrap up everyone's story. It's very interesting. That's a very interesting thought, because to me that says Din's story could be wrapped up. Grogu's story could be wrapped. Like, I think we'll still get more Grogu. You don't leave Grogu out. But knowing that makes me think Din could go. Moff could go. But if Moff goes, remember the beginning of this episode, he was basically threatening the Dark, was it Dark Council or the Dark whatever, the other Imperial remnant? He was threatening them like, hey, you guys keep talking about Thrawn. You all mention about Thrawn's imminent return, yet I haven't seen him yet. What's the holdup? I mean, he's poking the bear. Moff is poking the bear. He's like, and by the way, since y'all can't bring your boy Thrawn out, I need some stuff. I'm going to need Praetorian Guards, I need bombers, and I'm going to need interceptors, because the Mandalorians are coming, and now's our chance to snuff them out, so they won't be a problem going forward. My guess for next week, just replaying that in my head, my guess for next week is he fails at that. The Mandos win. The Mandos take Mandalore next week. We end on a high note. And Thrawn comes in and says, Moff, Gideon, you failed. And he just takes him out. I have a feeling Thrawn takes out Moff Gideon. It's the last thing we see is Thrawn. And we're just left with like, well, the Mandalorians just won Mandalore, but oh shoot, now Thrawn's here. Well, season 4 is going to be nuts. I think that's going to be the way it goes. I think that's I could see that happening. Grogu would go nuclear. Wouldn't you love to see it? Wouldn't you love to see that? Grogu just going crazy. Super fast. In the armor. I don't know if he would be giggling like I originally thought. Maybe he'd just very intensely just like mowing down troopers. It would be insane. It would be insane. Grogu would turn to John Wick. And so, get this. Grogu doesn't have Jedi training. What if we see Grogu lean dark? Start using his force powers in a way that we didn't see. You know, if let's go from Mandalorian season 1, here we are wrapping up 3. We know there's going to be a 4 and then potentially a movie, right? We're looking at it like this. We're at this part. We're nearing the 3rd act of the story. In 3rd acts, big dramatic shifts happen. What if Grogu goes dark? I'm just putting things out into the air here. You know, I'm just putting out theories and thoughts like I want you guys to do. But we're in the overarching from season 1, season 2, now we're wrapping 3. We got another 4, and then we got a movie. We're in the final 3rd after this week. Generally in the 3rd act, big shifts happen. What if we lose Din and Grogu goes dark out of just pure rage? Ooh. You know, I'm just saying it out. I'm just saying. What's my opinion on IG-12? Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Didn't we see stormtroopers in that kind of gear in Rebels? I don't believe it was the same. We saw Dark Troop. Was it Dark Troopers? I think we saw Dark Troopers in Rebels. This is why we're going to do a Rebels rewatch. I don't know that we're going to watch every episode of Rebels, but I'll start picking them next week. I'll start looking and seeing what we'll do every Tuesday night. Killing you right now with the prediction. They can kill Mando off, and we'll still watch. We will still watch. Cry every time I see Grogu. But, like, imagine how much more Grogu will mean to us and how much more Mando will mean to us if they kill him off. I think if they go for the feels and they go for that gut punch, like, it could work. It could work. Moff said he was going to attack the ships, but we didn't see that. And the space fight will be, there's probably going to be it's going to be both. We're going to see on the ground and in the air battle, I bet. And I'm sure we're going to cut in like typical Star Wars, like Return of the Jedi fashion. We're going to see him fighting on the ground. We're going to see him fighting in space. It's going to get dire. Things are going to get close. We're going to be on the edge of our seats freaking out. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. What if Grogu can wield it? What if he can? I mean, he has the Force, and we haven't seen him use it much lately. We've seen him just kind of little things this season. Well, a couple times early on, but it's been a few episodes since we've really seen him use it in an effective way. He used it last week on Lizzo's little ball, the croquet game she was playing, but nothing major. Would Grogu kill? I think he might if Din was. I mean, he has no problem killing creatures and eating. Like, I don't know. Forget Moff. Bring on Thrawn. Yeah, right. What if Thrawn kills Moff? That's what I'm saying. All right. JPF props. I don't think they have the guts to kill off Din. I think the armor is the other spy. And I think Bo-Katan... Ooh, okay. Okay, you think Bo-Katan dies. Interesting. Think they're building her up all this season and just to take her away from us? That's possible. That is possible. There was that moment where she was explaining to everyone about how... you know what, though? I'm going to tell you something. This leans more into the Din dying thing. I was thinking, of the moment when she's talking to the other pirates, the other pirate Mandos, and talking about how she actually was the one that surrendered, and that's why everyone suffered, because she kind of failed and gave up and was betrayed by Moff Gideon, right? She's talking about that whole thing. And then afterwards, her and Din have a moment by themselves, and she's saying, no, they were right. Like, I failed. I was selfish. And he's like, well, the things, that sword doesn't mean anything to us. Rank and name and blood doesn't mean anything to me. What matters to me is character, is honor, is those kind of things. And she's like, well, I was selfish. He's like, no, but what I'm seeing is you're not. And I will fight for you. And I pledge myself to you, Lady Kryze, like a knight would do. He pledges himself to fight for her until her song is sung. Those were his words. Until your song is sung. We're gonna lose Mando. I'm sorry. Like, I think that's the knight pledging to the queen. I don't think they kill the queen. That right there, like, I think we're gonna lose Mando. I think he is going to literally fight until her song is sung. He's gonna fight and go down until she gets her redemption for Mandalore. And I think that was them giving us that subtle hint. It would take some guts to kill off Din. It would. But after thinking about that one moment they had together, I don't see them killing off Bo. They could. I mean, obviously they could. Anything could happen. But just thinking about that little moment they had together, really, really gets me thinking. My buddy said at the start, Grogu has all the same issues Anakin did. What if Grogu goes dark? What if he's definitely exact same issues. Exact same issues. All of them. I don't even need to go into them. Just think about it. They're there. Oh, man. Grogu's had training, but he chose to leave like Ahsoka did. He did choose. That is one of the big differences. He chose. Grogu's going to kick ass while saying yes. He is. It's going to be great. This is the other... We haven't even brought up the Mythosaur. I think the Mythosaur is going to pull Din's bacon out of the fire. Din on the Mythosaur, Bo with the Darksaber, power shared. Ooh, see, that would be a cool way to go. That'd be a very cool way to go. I like, in my head, I'm thinking, like, what is the saddest timeline that they leave us sitting on for 2 years? Because, again, we're going into the third act. And in any story, when that third act hits, that's when things are always at their worst. The chips are down. You need to give your heroes something to, like, you push them to the edge so that they can overcome that in the third act, and it makes the end that much more rewarding. That's storytelling 101. And so on a larger scale, I do think we're heading to that third act. So, like, my brain keeps thinking, no, we're in for some, like, it's gonna be a game changer. It's gonna yeah. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm like nervous thinking about next week. He started to kill Cara Dune when she was fighting. He did. Remember that? He did start using the Force on her. That was in his... I mean, hasn't been that long, but early on in his Force using, right? What was that huge monster we saw? I don't think that was the Mythosaur. I don't think it was. I feel like they would have made a bigger deal of it if it was actually the Mythosaur. We did never really get a clear shot of the face. There's like one sweeping shot, but it's moving so fast you can't really get a good look at the face. I stopped and tried a couple times. So I don't think it's the Mythosaur, and if it was the Mythosaur, they would have clearly called attention to it, I think. Let's see here. What is this? With dressed up. Oh, they're not idiots. They're just having fun. Leave them be. Strollers and outfits that have them turn to the dark. I think that'd be amazing. I think it'd be amazing. Let's see here. Maybe Grogu and Bo-Katan get the Mythosaur. I could see that. Grogu and Mama riding the Mythosaur. Woo. The original creator of the Darksaber was a Jedi. That's very true. That is very true. And Bo-Katan doesn't have any Force leanings that we've seen. She doesn't seem to show any of that kind of thing. So, I don't know. Oh, yep, there you go. They built up tech. And you know what? Yeah, that's a good point, dude. That's a very good point. That's a very, very good point. Prediction, Mythosaur eats Gideon. I like that. I like that a lot, Breakin'. I'm into that one. I'm definitely into that one. It's gonna be the worst week. It's gonna be so. Oh, I can't. What is this? But Dano, sometimes the night does win the day. True. They do. And it would make sense for Din. Like, I'm just saying. I'm predicting tragedy. I just have a feeling we're gonna. They need to leave us being like, what, and I don't know. I feel like the move right now, the right move, would be, and just remember what I'm saying now next week. Remember what I'm saying right now, and we'll see if any of my weird theories and thought, because I don't have inside info. Like I'm guessing along just like you guys are, because it's fun. But I just remember what I said. Because I got a feeling. If they kill off Din with a horrible backstory that continues for Grogu, it could, or he could overcome it. I don't know. Grogu's race is stronger in the Force than humans are. Absolutely. Let's see, what do you got? I think if we were going to lose Din, they would have spent more time developing Din's character. Most of the character development has been Bo, classic writing to set up the heartbreak. Yeah? Okay. I can see that. I mean, we have had, 3 seasons of Din. You know? I mean, specifically in this season, they've definitely given Bo the more of a setup, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Grogu might not go dark because he doesn't have the same issues which Anakin had with the Jedi Order. True, he doesn't have issues specifically with the Order. Similar dark side symptoms, though. He does. He shows them. What about the pirate Mandos? How did they live on Mandalore for as long as they did without... Now, they didn't seem like they were living well, right, Brandon? They seemed like they were scavenging for food. Like they were... I forget what the exact phrase was in the beginning, the first time we see them, but it definitely seemed like, okay, they're not... And you can tell by they're a little disheveled. They don't look like... They look like mangy pirates, you know? Like they weren't well kept. So, they weren't doing well. But I could see them, what you're getting at, I think, is I could see the reason that they're still there is because the Empire is just giving them scraps, in exchange for setting up anyone who shows up. Because they did say, hey, we'll do you one better. We'll take you to the Forge. They knew right where it was. And then when that thing attacked the ship, they're like, come this way. Funny, that happened to lead right into where the Empire, It was all very suspect. Mando didn't show up for SWC, and I'm wondering why. Celebration. Maybe to make sure he doesn't slip up. Oh, it's possible. I wonder if he's in the middle of another project or something. I'm sure he's with Last of Us, with Mando. I'm sure he's doing a lot of work right now. He's probably high up on the Hollywood list of projects. He could do any project he wants at this moment. So I would imagine more than anything, most likely, he was just busy on another project. But that is a good point. If they don't want him to, you can't say nothing, dude. No way we're going to let you slip up. Head shape was way different. It was shaped like a Zillow, but we didn't see the rest of the body to verify. There you go. Moff may set up a Los Pollos restaurant on Mandalore. Sith Lord Hector Salamanca. He'll kill Moff. There you go. That's it. What is this? Was that Favreau's character that died? Yeah, that was the one. Favreau voiced him. That's Paz Vizsla. This is Paz. Well, it'll never focus because my autofocus is done. Slightly related, please give us Ahsoka fighting those Praetorian guards. Dude, I would love that. I would absolutely love seeing that. Okay, so here's something we haven't talked about much tonight. Ahsoka. How do you guys feel about Ahsoka showing up next week? Do you think it'll happen, or do you think they're going to save Ahsoka, any Ahsoka appearances for this summer in August when we get her whole show? One of them will die, Bo or Din? Oh, okay. Let's see. Grogu's going to get Din back. He isn't going to let him go yet. I hope so. Let's see. The theory I keep having is the renaming Empire using Thrawn so they can bring back the Emperor. Okay. Thrawn is from a trilogy of books that came out before the sequels. It's called Heir to the Empire trilogy, and he's one of the big characters. You should watch Star Wars Rebels, Aisley. You should watch Star Wars if you want like the easiest way to get caught up without having to read the books. Watch Star Wars Rebels. Thrawn, from season 2 or 3 on, becomes a driving force in what's left of the Empire, the remnant Empire. And we're going to learn more about the current version of Thrawn, because those original novels, the Heir to the Empire trilogy, that's Legends. So that's not officially canon. That's why I say watch Rebels. If you want officially canon Thrawn, watch it from Rebels. You're going to be seeing more of him coming up soon. But he is the next big bad that we're going to see. In between the Emperor getting killed off in Return of the Jedi and Snoke and the Emperor, in the sequel trilogy. Oh, I want a Negan. Oh my god. That moment, like, it's so funny you bring up that. I don't think I've ever talked about Walking Dead, but that moment specifically, the Negan and Glenn moment you're talking about, that was Walking Dead 100, the issue 100. I remember because I went to the store that night at midnight to buy the comic because I was so invested in the comic, and I couldn't wait. I bought it and I sat in my car and read it. Like, I remember the moment it happened. I remember seeing that Negan and Glenn moment, and something like that would be nuts in this show. It'd be absolutely nuts. I'm thinking he was in London while Celebration was happening. I don't think he made any appearances. I mean, he might have been there, but I don't think he. I mean, if he was there, he would have done interviews and stuff, and he didn't. So. Yeah. I think a post-credit scene of Ahsoka, that I think is most likely. I think if we see Ahsoka, it'll be a post-credit thing. It'll be something like that. I think maybe we get Thrawn in the show, briefly. But, I don't know. But yeah, I think Ahsoka, the post-credits would be most likely. Ahsoka had that connection with Bo and Mandalore, yeah? But you doubt she'll show up. Okay. Where's the Anakin sipper from? Remember, this would be from 1999. This is from Taco Bell. Taco Bell. Oh, it won't. Darn you, autofocus. Taco Bell pizza and KFC. I should be drinking Pepsi, but I'm not. I'm drinking Sunny D vodka seltzer. It's fine. It grew on me a little bit. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. Oh boy. Let's see. Ahsoka will show up with Thrawn to lead into the Ahsoka show. Okay. What store is open at midnight? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. I don't think Ahsoka shows up, though. Would be fine with it. Just hope those guards live long enough to fight her. You're really into those guards. Really into those guards. Oh, is the internet still working? Did I lose something here? Oh. Let me just refresh my feed. Everything looks like it slowed down for a second, and I heard a weird noise outside. Like, is that lightning? It's not raining again, is it? There's 2 different Thrawn trilogies that are... Oh, that's right. There are 2 different ones. Wait. Isn't one of them canon? Like, the original Heir to the Empire books aren't... Those are Legends. But then the newer Thrawn books, the 3, was it Ascendancy? I forget. I own them on audiobook, but I've never actually listened to them. Guilty. Those are canon, though. Those are canon. Okay, cool. I didn't break it. It's still working. I'm like, why did the chat stop? There we go. Yeah. That is... I forget that those are canon. I totally forgot about that. Oh, there we go. Cool. 07 for Paz Vizsla? I don't know what that means. 07? What is that? Oh, I don't get it. Let's see here. I think Grogu might sacrifice himself to save Din. They wouldn't kill off Baby Yoda, but he would be placed back in custody? Okay, you think he'd give himself up to the Empire, and then we would see potentially Gideon, if he doesn't die, and Thrawn, have. Ooh. Oh, you know what, dude? That could be interesting, because that's a shift. That's one of those shifts that we have to like wait 2 years till the next season and know that Grogu is taken by the Empire. That's good. That's good. That's conflict. I like that. That's what I would expect, something like that to happen. I'm into that. I like where your head's at. Oh, perfect, Julie. Exactly. This is why we do the rewatches when there's not a new show. Anyone who doesn't know Thrawn can join us every Tuesday night. I'll be doing this while we watch Rebels and catch up. Yeah, so we're gonna watch the Thrawn episodes. We're gonna watch. I kind of want to watch some of the Clone Wars, like Bo-Katan specific episodes, because I need a refresher. That's always been a weak spot for me, and I've tried to watch it. And when I watch it on my own, I don't pay attention. But if I watch it with you guys, I'll pay closer attention, probably. I say that, but then I think about Bad Batch, which I did pay attention to watch, but it's hard. It's hard. Who else agrees that if you didn't watch Rebels, you didn't have a life? I don't know if I agree with that. A lot of people didn't watch Rebels. So there is 6 canon Thrawn books and 3... I didn't realize there was 6 canon Thrawn books. I thought it was only 3. Shows how much I know. 07 is Little Man... Oh! Got the O and the... Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Y'all teaching me things. Y'all always teaching me things here. Well, I've never known that before. Man. Okay, let's see here. All right, we've talked about Ahsoka. I'm going to put a poll in there, because we talked about this last night about my predictions. But I want to know your thoughts on a couple characters. So be ready to vote in this poll, okay? I'm typing it now. You can hear me clickety clackety clackety clack. Simple yes or no question. I'm going to leave it up for, 5 minutes. Will we see Boba Fett next week? Yes or no? My vote's yes. Can I vote? Will it let me vote? I won't let me vote. But I'm putting yes. My vote is yes. If Grogu were kidnapped, that would be a way to have him appear in Ahsoka. Very true. Very true. Very true. Oh yeah, sorry, Great Wolf. You can't vote, but still, we'll count your yes. We'll count Breakin's yes too. Yeah, I can't put it over in Twitch. I don't think I can put one in Twitch, can I? Let me pull up Twitch. Oh, I'm not logged in. I'm just watching. But still. Yes, so 2 yeses from Great Wolf and Breaking over on Twitch. Let's see where the poll's at right now, okay? So we've got how many votes? 21 votes so far. We got about 65 people watching right now. What does my stream software say? We got 70 people watching total. 61% are saying yes. And be slightly higher because our friends over on Twitch. And 35 are saying no. 26 votes so far. Only a third of you have voted. Yeah, that's right. He does go to Batu with Anakin. And aren't there like blaster marks or something and Ogas that are from that or something like that, right? Something like that. Here we go. Thrawn books are great. Only other person that figures out who Darth Vader is. I like that. That's kind of cool. Well, yeah, because Thrawn's very calculating. Like he's a very smart, and that's what makes him scary is how smart he is. You just finished rewatching the episode with your wife. Oh, it was so good. That was. I mean, I don't pick favorites, but man, that was probably the best episode of Mando we've seen. There was a lot. It had everything. Here's a theory. Okay, let's have it, Joel. We know there's the world between worlds in Ahsoka. Could the powers that be using that to somehow retcon some things that may need retconning? I don't know what needs retconning, I'll be honest. Like, right now, I don't think there's anything that needs retconning. Maybe, but I don't think anything needs retconning. I don't think retconning things is the right move. I think adding to the story and fleshing it out seems to be their direction right now. But, like, just straight up changing things, like, being like, nope, that's not what happened. This was completely different. Nah, I think that's a terrible use for World Between Worlds. It could happen, but I don't think that's a good use for it. Here an ending from Dragonlord 1125. R5 and N1. We haven't seen R5 in a minute. And the N1 will join the fight, and this leads to Din's freedom. Imagine that. Imagine R5 just piloting the N1 on his own saves the day. That's a cool thought. Okay, let me put it back up. Sorry. Moff is wounded, and Thrawn orders the guard to kill him. Mandalorians retreat to Navarro. Season 4 will be War for Mandalore. Flesh it out a little bit longer. Okay. All right. Tell me, yeah, and Oga's the blaster marks? Okay. I knew that. I never read the book. Poll didn't show up for you, but you say yes. Okay, fair enough. So, I mean, right now it's leaning 59% are saying yes. So, more saying yes. I vote for Ezra to show up, chasing Thrawn. Ew. But you know, the only reason I don't think that would happen is it is interesting that they're saying Thrawn hasn't shown up yet. They're like, "Where's Thrawn?" I'm processing this real quick, Jenny. The reason I think no is A, because we haven't seen Thrawn, but if we see Thrawn, we see Ezra, because they're both around, right? They both disappeared with the Purgle together at the end of Rebels. But I don't think we see Ezra, mostly because it's Celebration, and in the trailer for Ahsoka, it made it seem like they're still looking for Ezra. And for them to give us that in Mando is too early. I think we get that in Ahsoka. I think that's going to be one of the driving forces of Ahsoka, and that's going to be a big moment of that show, is Ezra showing up. I think doing it in this show takes that impact away a little bit. That's why I think no for Ezra. It would be cool, and it would make sense. If we see Thrawn, it makes sense that we would see Ezra. So, you know, yeah, no, that's possible. That's very possible. Love that we saw Hux's dad. I thought that was cool, too. I thought that was very cool, too. What is Thrawn alien-wise? He's a Pantoran. Same as the Captain, Keevan, from the Halcyon. Or maybe Thrawn is literally... Right, someone correct me on that. He's Pantoran, right? Blueface? Maybe Thrawn is literally just back in this EDF dealing with the Grisks and literally doesn't care about the Empire anymore. No, I mean, he does, though. He does. Like, he's there. He's there. There's that whole Dark Council in the beginning of the episode that we're like... Moff Gideon made it seem like they've mentioned Thrawn's imminent return quite a bit. So, yeah. Oh, he's a Chiss. That's right, he's a Chiss. He's not a Pantoran, he's a Chiss. From the unexplored areas. That's right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Maybe Dano shows up in the next episode. Maybe. Wouldn't that be amazing? I will never get, like, fan cast in something like that, because I could not shut my mouth. I could not keep that a secret. Not that, like, so remember when Kenobi came out and Michael from Rex and Around was on it? He showed up and was like a background character. I knew about that early on. I knew about that beforehand. So, I mean, you just got to be careful who you tell. But I remember he told me about it early. I was like, no way, really? He's like, yeah, but we can't say nothing. I was like, all right. Secret safe with me. And then I talked to like a friend who also, a mutual friend, and he's like, oh yeah, I knew that too. I was like, okay, so everybody knows then? It was one of those things. Yeah, thank you. Thrawn is a Chiss. Thrawn is a Chiss. I was like, Blueface, Pantoran, right? No, he's a Chiss. You're absolutely right. Thrawn is definitely in his Imperial uniform, not CDEF uniform. Think there could be flashbacks and showing? Okay. He is a member of the Blue Man Group. He is. Thrawn hasn't finished his bath in the back tank. Okay. Things just taste better in this. I think Grogu's gonna go get Boba, Fennec, Chrysanthemum, and Cobb. I want that. I want to see all those people you mentioned. I want to see Boba. I want to see Fennec. I want to see Chrysanthemum. I want to see Cobb Vanth all roll up. Saying it out loud and thinking about what that looks like on screen, I do feel like that's a little close to how Book of Boba Fett ended. And creatively, I wouldn't want to do the same thing. I'd be like, yeah, but we already did that on Mos Espa last year. Let's do something different. You know, like, I want that. I want to see all of those characters. But now that I think about it, when I list them off like that, and I say, okay, Fennec Shand, Boba, Chrysanthemum, Cobb Vanth, that's literally the showdown, and Mando and Grogu, and I'm like, that's pretty much the showdown we had on Mos Espa, right? We just did that. We just did that last year. I like it, and I want them to show up in some capacity, but maybe it's not. I don't know. Do you think we'll see Kanan in Ahsoka, like, as a flashback? I do think so. And I think it's going to be one of those things that, like, it'll hit, and we'll all have that moment of, like, oh my god, Kanan. You know, I think if Kanan's going to appear on screen in live action, it needs to be heavy. It needs to be one of those moments that, like, we feel the weight of it, and everybody has that, like, kind of silence and, like, notices their own breath moment. Like, you know, I think if we see Kanan, it should be something like that. It should be a big, heavy moment. Maybe not intense or crazy, but like one of those moments that it means a lot to see him there. Probably something with like Hera. You know? I think it'd be a heavy moment. Maybe we'll see Luke. I think it's possible. I think it's possible we'll see Luke again. That's a definite possibility. So, I don't know. Again, like I said at the end of season 2, because a lot of people were like, well, Luke's going to come show up and rescue Grogu. And I was like, well, is he? Is he? I was like, we don't need that. I don't think we need it. It happened. I still loved it. So, like, I feel the same way this time. I don't think we need Luke to come save the day. But I'd love it. I'd love it. I'd love it. R5 will call out to New Republic for some help. Dude. That's possible. And you know what? Okay, to add to that, Logan. Remember when Carson Teva was talking to Ladies Man in his office? And Tim Meadows was like, yeah, hey, that little thing on Navarro, they're not part of the Imperial. That's not Imperial. They're just pirates. Navarro is a sovereign planet. They're out of our jurisdiction, so nothing I can do. We'll put in a request, but nothing I can do. Well, that changes when you're on Mandalore and you're talking about the Empire remnants. So if R5 signals to Carson Teva and says, hey, we're getting into some stuff over here. It's Empire's here. That gives Carson Teva reason to show up and say, hey, we need reinforcements now on Mandalore because the Empire is getting back to... Dude, I think you nailed it with that. I think you nailed it. R5's going to call out to the New Republic, and we're going to see Carson Teva and the New Republic show up to help try and stamp out the remainder of the Imperial remnant. I think that's very likely going to happen. It's got to be the longest episode ever next week. It has to be the longest episode ever. Oh, okay, this is interesting. Someone said they think Gideon will remove Din's helmet and he will make a choice between Bo's group or the Watch. I like the first half of that a lot. I could see Gideon removing Din's helmet and then Din being his silly self, being like, oh no, I failed. I can't be part of the Watch anymore because my helmet was removed. And him just, like, I failed, because he's like that. He's weird about that. He's very strict on himself when it comes to that kind of stuff. And so I could see Moff Gideon removing his helmet, but I don't think it would come down to a choice between Bo's group or the Watch because they're being united. I think they are being, even though they've shown the conflicts, that moment that Bo-Katan had and what she was saying to everyone at that table at dinner was Mandalorians have always failed because of their own infighting. And so she really does want to unite the group. So I don't think it's going to be a choice between the two groups. But what you're saying about Gideon removing Din's helmet, that's very highly possible. I think that's really highly possible. They said the last 2 episodes would tie. That's what I'm saying. Would tie all the stories together. Plus Boba is a Mandalorian. Yeah, I think Boba's going to show up. I'm going to end that poll because it's been quite a few minutes now. 61% said yes. 39% said no. Okay, let's do another character then. Let's do another one. I'm going to start another poll. I asked it earlier, but will we... we only has one E. There's a lot of E's in this whole sentence. Will we see Ahsoka next week? Will we see Ahsoka? Did Rex and Rouse stop? Yeah, Michael doesn't do podcasts anymore. He stopped. He's still on Twitter. You still find him on Twitter. He's on Instagram too, but yeah, mostly on Twitter. Let's see. Did you cry when Kanan died? I didn't cry, but it was very upsetting, yes. Who would play him though? I don't know. It'd be a surprise. It'd have to be a really crazy surprise. A very heavy moment. I think so. Do you think we'll see Kanan's son in Ahsoka? Yeah, I think we will see Jason Syndulla at some point. We have to. It might even be first episode kind of thing. I still think Jason Syndulla was one of Luke's students. Ooh, that'd be cool. I'd like that a lot. Yep, and Teva was investigating Gideon Breakout, right? That ties together. So well. Great Wolf over on Twitch. I vote no Thrawn. Yes, Boba and crew plus Zeb. Ooh, what if we get Zeb? And the Rebels helping in space, which leads to cameo of Zeb and Sabine. Okay. Yeah, we'll see Jason as... I think we will see Jason and Ahsoka. Carson shows up with Zeb. Maybe. The package has arrived. He's here. Oh, he changed his name. Patrick, a.k.a. Package Savage. Love it. Adam, I'm not expecting a big cameo to save the day moment. Okay. Don't feel like it would make a lot of sense for Luke, Boba, Ahsoka to show up. The season's very much about Mandalorians. A New Republic makes sense. Yeah, I think at least Boba. But I feel you on that. It is definitely about the Mandalorians this season. And the name of the show, The Mandalorian, has changed. It's changed. The meaning of it has changed. Season 1 is about Din. Season 2, it started to open up a little bit more. This one is definitely about, like, the royal Mandalore, like, all of them. You know, like, it's the Mandalorian, like, way of life. Like, the Mandalorian culture. It's not about one person. It's bigger than that. So, yeah, I feel like the focus being on just them would make sense. Let's see. Ta-da! He's here. Package is here. The armorer did say Death Watch is over, and she was kind of funny about it, right? Like, the way she explained it was a little curt. She was a little short in her response, and it was like, oh, okay. Like in Bad Batch, what if they fail to rescue Din in Episode 8? In Season 4, Grogu visits Luke, finishes training, gets his own saber, rally all the Mandalorians to go back to Mandalore and free Din? It's very possible. Very possible. Let's see here. Din walks both worlds. He could walk both worlds. I haven't done Opus in a little bit. I don't know. I could do it. It's kind of buggy. It's hard. It's hard to do. Like, it's fine. It's fun. But it's kind of buggy. Maybe I'll do another one this week. I'll try and do another Opus this week. Those are more for like a midday kind of stream where I don't need to prep and do as much crazy stuff. Because I can't really pull out, like, Baby Youngus can't really show up in an Opus stream. You know, it's a different kind of setup. I can't use the same tricks and gadgets I've got during my normal setup. So I haven't done Opus as much lately. It's got its own types of tricks with the emoji rain and all that stuff. But I should do one. If you guys like that, I'll do another one. Freddie Prinze Jr. could still do it. He could still do it. It might be a little on the nose to have him play it, but especially now he's a little older. It's been a few years since Rebels. He could do it. Random, but if you listen to Armor Party, Brandon Wayne's favorite weapon was the one he gets this season. Really? I have not listened to that episode. I need to get caught up. I haven't listened to Mike's show in a little bit. I do need to get caught up on that. But that's an interesting point. Favorite weapon was the one he gets this season. We have not seen him with a new weapon at all. Ooh, what does that mean? Let's see here. Mando saved Grogu in Season 3. I imagine Grogu and Bo will save Mando. Yep, I can see that. Will we see Sabine next? I'll put that up in another poll here in just a minute. What's the one I just asked? I just asked about Ahsoka. We're split down the middle. We got 40 votes. Most of you voted. And we're split down the middle, 50-50. 20 said yes and 20 said no. I'm going to say no. I'm going to break that tie. And people on Twitch chime in. What do you think? Do you think we'll see Ahsoka next week? Yes or no? Just type it in the chat and I'll be able to read it out and kind of add that to the votes here. I can't really add it to the screen, but like in my head I can add it. Yeah. Do you think Axe Woves would raise Paz's son after his death? I totally forgot about Paz's son. Maybe. I don't know how that group of Mandos functions. I don't know how that works. Let's see here. Again, Sasha Banks was there. Yeah, no, Casca Reeves, the character, was there. She really didn't do a whole lot. She was one of the first to volunteer. That's about it. Oh, here we go. Freddie Prinze has already said he won't be coming back to play Kanan. Well, I guess that's that. Let's see here. Is it Kanan? Isn't? I mean, Freddie Prinze Jr. isn't a white man either, technically. So, he went to, he grew up in Albuquerque, not far from, like, his high school was, like, my high school's rival. Like, and everybody knew, because he was kind of, like, a heartthrob when I was in high school still. He was, like, young, early 20s, so he had just left that school, La Cueva, I don't know, 3 or 4 years before I was in high school. So everyone knew, it was like, oh, that's the high school that Freddie Prinze Jr. went to. And they have a McDonald's in it. I don't know if that was true or not, but that was the rumor. Axe is the spy. You think it's Axe? You think it's Axe? All right. Let's see here. Rumor I heard is it's kind of hush-hush now because they don't want to hurt sales of Cal Kestis Part 2. Oh, what is it? Is there more to that? Something like that rumored in the works? Oh, a game. You're talking about this open world game. Gotcha. Yeah, there is something in the works. I've heard of that too. Definitely heard of that. Alright, where were we at? Mando talk here. I was thinking a couple weeks ago we might be Darth Maul leading. I brought that up last night during the stream. Gideon's helmet. Gideon's helmet had the little pointy horn. I should have grabbed the figure. I didn't grab the figure. Maybe I'll take a break and I'll get on the chair and I'll get up there and I'll grab the figure and show you guys what I'm talking about. But you know, it's not impossible. It's not impossible that Maul. I know Maul's dead. I know Maul is dead. He died in the Twin Sons episode on Rebels, right? I know that. Obi-Wan killed him. Project Necromancer. Like I said, my theory I threw out last night, which I totally forgot about till right now, was they mentioned Project Necromancer in the beginning, which we all assume is talking about the Emperor, bringing back the Emperor. In a lot of science projects, you don't do the experiment on the main subject, because what if you mess up? You do trials first. You test it on something else first. What if they tested on Maul? What if they found Maul's remains or something and tested it? Or they got his DNA from something. Maybe Emperor kept some of Maul's DNA for something. It'd be weird, but like maybe he did. And what if we get a clone or a zombie Darth Maul? Gideon had the horns. Gideon's helmet, his new Beskar armor and his helmet had the horns. It had the horns. What does that mean? What does it mean? Breakin' saying no to Ahsoka, maybe Zevon Carson Tiva. Okay. And I'm saying no too, so I'm gonna end that one. Ahsoka next week? No. We're thinking no on that one. Everyone thinks no. Okay. Let's do another one then. We're gonna do one more. I mean, I'll do a bunch. I'm down to hang out tonight. Will we see Sabine? Okay, how are y'all feeling about this? Will we see Sabine Wren next week? Palpatine collected Maul's legs and then clones it. I mean, it's possible. I mean, the files are probably there somewhere. The 3 Mandos they met in Mandalore were the spies, you think? Okay, possible. Maul could get... Imagine that. Imagine we end this season with a twist of just like, wait, Maul rolls up out of nowhere, kills Gideon, and then has the Darksaber? What? With spider legs? That could be wild. That could be really wild. I feel like that would cheapen Maul's death. That's a good point. Very good point. And confuse more people. Yeah, people already can't keep the Mandalorian. Yeah, you know what, Adam? Hate to say it, but you're right. You're right. The boy can dream. Clone of Anakin and Old Mace Windu saved the day. Okay, yeah, if we're throwing out clones, is that a Captain Jack Sparrow thing you got going on? This looks pretty good. Mr. Outlaw. I wouldn't want them to bring back Maul, even though it'd be cool, because I feel, same sentiment that Adam had. It would take away from that scene. It really would. You're right. Maul's the true black saber owner based on Mandalorian rules. Oh, is he? Explain. Go on. I don't fully. Again, this is my weak spot. Tell me more. Tell me more about that. I felt Sabine more likely before seeing the Ahsoka trailer. She seemed to have been gone. Yeah. So I feel the same way. Excuse me. Since the Ahsoka trailer, I do feel like, well, maybe we don't see Sabine. How's the poll doing though? Right now, out of 26 votes, so about half of you, 62% say yes and 38% say no. I think no, because they want to save it for Ahsoka. I think that appearance should be saved for Ahsoka. But I do think it's still possible. I wouldn't say it's impossible. I would say, no, that's on the table. It's on the table. I know, but it would be a good twist. Yes. Just imagine Palpatine sent out Dooku to the bottom of that pit to pick up Maul's legs. And go, fetch boy. I'm an old man. I don't want to go down to the bottom of the pit and get those legs. Those stinky old legs. Oh, I skipped a lot in this chat. Let me go. Let me get caught up. I skipped way back. Oh, man. All right, where are we at here? Poll's still holding. Poll's still 60 or 59% are saying yes. Let's see. Sabine just found the Darksaber. No one beat Maul while he was... Oh, okay. Trudy. But Grogu could take the Darksaber from Maul and rule Mandalore. Oh, that would be nuts. But, okay, so the whole... How do you guys feel about that? There's that moment. That I want to focus on that moment between Bo and Din after dinner in this episode, today's episode. There was this moment where they had this talk, and Din pledges himself to Lady Kryze. And what he says is, that sword doesn't mean anything to me. Nor does blood or rank or whatever. Like, that doesn't mean anything to me. And I feel like he was speaking on behalf of the Watch. His people. I feel like what he was saying, it was really kind of speaking on behalf... Like, they probably feel a similar way. With the exception of the Armorer. I don't know. I just don't know what the Armorer is up to. But I feel like him saying that is like, look, he's kind of saying, we don't care about that sword. That sword doesn't mean anything to us. It does to you guys. That's your thing. But to us, to this other group, our values are in honor, are in the way. That culture is what they value more than a trinket, this sword. So I don't know how much the claim of the Darksaber means to half of that group. You know? I don't know. Wouldn't Vader technically be the owner of the Darksaber since Palp... I mean, Vader's dead at this point. But since Palp bested Maul in their fight and then Vader killed Palp... I guess, but Vader's dead. So then it'd be Luke's? Luke rules Mandalore? Show Sabine, you think they'll show Sabine during the post-credit scene? Hey, that counts. That counts. Maybe Ahsoka did beat Maul. Gotta rewatch. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's at the end of Clone Wars, right? Season 7? I don't remember. There's too many. Love the drink cup. I know. I probably want to get more of the... I did one of those late night bids on eBay, and I saw there's a lot of this one in Boston Ass, the one I had last night, for 99 cents. It was like $11 shipping, which makes sense. You put these two in a box, it's going to cost $11 to ship that. But it was like 99 cents, and so I bid on it. And I won, and I totally forgot. I was like, oh, I forgot I bid on that. And so they arrived. And I'm like, sweet. These 22-year-old, 23-year-old cups from Taco Bell. See you later. See you later, Trudy Isaacs. Sidious beat Maul, so it should belong to him. Okay. Oh. What is it? Since those red guards from what I think is from Last Jedi... I don't think Snoke's a thing yet. I think they're working on Snoke. I think they're still working on him. You know, I do want to rewatch that scene where we see Gideon walking in front of the cloning tanks. I do want to see, like, if there's a better look at what's in there. Because last time we saw those kind of tanks was on Navarro, and they looked like Snoke's. And those guards were Praetorian guards. Specifically Praetorian guards. What if the Armorer is Bo's sister? Ooh, what if that'd be a twist? She takes off the... Maybe that'd be a weird twist, but maybe. Din is just saying he respects her, and she's proven herself worthy to be the leader of man. Yeah, definitely, because he acknowledged that what he was taught about her people was wrong. Yeah, there was that moment. He was like, "I was wrong about you people." Yeah. He's having a little heart to heart. I just feel like there was a lot in that moment, and then him like pledging himself to her. I don't know. I think he's gonna die. Oh, it is midnight. Looks like the chat's slowing down a little bit. We still got about 70 people here. Dang. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. For me. And if you guys got more speculation, do you have any thoughts about another poll I should put up there? Because it looks like Sabine Wren next week, 56% are saying yes. A little more than half are saying yes on that one. Okay, about half of you voted. So there's that too. But I'm going to end that one. And let me refresh, make sure this all shows up well. Good. Been streaming for about an hour here, hour and 10. How are y'all feeling? You want to hang out some more? Want to keep chatting? Are you ready to wind it down? Because I do want to take those photos still. But if y'all still want to chat, have more to say, throw it in the chat. Type it up. Let me know. If not, I'm just going to vamp for a minute. And just kind of keep thinking about what next week. I don't know. We don't have an idea on the runtime. We don't know how long. Like, watch they surprise us next week, and we go to load up at 11:50, and it says this episode is 38 minutes long. And we're like, what? How are they gonna? You know, I would expect it's gonna be another 50-something minute, a long one like last night's. But you never know. Don't be a Debbie Downer. He can't die yet. I know. You may not. Did I finish my helmet? No, I did not finish the helmet. It's in the closet somewhere. It's in the closet somewhere. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. I might have coffee in a little bit, and I'll stay up, pull an all-nighter, and do that. Grogu, he does need more buttons. Rat. Nice. Sticker showed up. He does need more buttons. What if... Okay, so... Okay, here's a question. I don't have a poll up right now, do I? This is more of a semantics. Like, how do you feel about this? Okay, I'm putting it in the poll right now, and then I'm going to tell you what the question was. Okay. You're gonna see. And I want to know how you feel about this. Okay, here's the poll. How do you feel about Grogu and his buttons, his yes or no buttons? Do those count as Grogu's first words? Vote. Go ahead and vote in that poll. Do those count as Grogu's first words? Technically, he wasn't saying the words, but he was. You know, it's one of those like, well, it depends on how you look at it. They didn't come out of his mouth, but he was still communicating. So were those more buttons like those pets you see? I know, right? Are you seeing like the TikToks, the dogs that can talk? Treat, pet me. They hit the... I would love to teach my dogs to talk, but then I think I would instantly regret it. I think they make IG-11 into full Beskar mech. When would they have the time, though? Maybe for next season. I think maybe for next season. But when would they're not going to have the time right now to just do that between now and next, you know, in the next episode. They got one episode. I don't think they're going to be like, quick, someone dip IG into Beskar and hope he can move afterwards. A 2-hour-long finale would be appropriate. I mean, that's a full-length... That's a movie. Oh, nice. Oh, I like that it shows up from Twitch with the actual, like, emoji. That's cool. I like how that shows up. Drop more of those over on Twitch. I like how that... It's weird YouTube doesn't show up that way. I can't put the emojis on screen, but that's cool. You said that doesn't count? It's going to have to be This Is the Way. Oh, where he kind of muttered it earlier in the season? Okay. Oh, yeah, it's IG-12 now. Okay, it's okay. Told you Grogu would talk even though it was through the IG unit. I mean, I think it counts. From a certain point of view, that was his first... Yeah, his first words could have been, This Is the Way, when he kind of, like, muttered it. In that case, hasn't he been speaking through the Force for a long time? Kind of. I think it's different, because you could hear it. There was audible... He did a thing, and there was audible noise. Instead of just projecting thoughts. I think there's a difference there. I said communicate, but I think it's a little bit... There's more to it than just he communicated. I think there's something to words... I don't know. I feel like it being audible and being heard is my stipulation on that. That's where I draw the line on that one. But again, this is up to you. You vote however you want. But I'm just curious how you guys feel about it. Because it's one of those things that you can interpret it so many different ways. So I am curious. And 58% of you, as of right now, about half of you have voted. Exactly half of you have voted. 58% are saying no. And only 42 are saying yes. Okay. I love the Doug talking dog. I need that. Any thoughts on Elia Kane and her story? You know, in the intro to this episode, they showed us a little bit more of the Elia Kane and her hitting Dr. Pershing. When you bring up Elia Kane, it makes me think, well, wait, was that the end of Pershing? Was that it? They were just like, oh no, we see him get his mind. She wipes his mind, and that's it. And even Gideon says so in this episode. He's like, well, Dr. Pershing's, you know, he briefly mentions it. I think we're going to see more Elia Kane. I don't know when yet, but I also feel like, on the other hand, I feel like we may not need to for now. I think we'll see her next week. She might be the one to try and stop Carson Teva from getting back up. Or she might... Okay, let's play this scenario out. Let's go back to the R5 theory, right? Which I think is a very likely thing to happen. R5 radios Carson Teva, because we know he can do that. He says, hey, distress signal, come to Mandalore. Remnant Empire's here. Carson Teva says, okay, I need to go tell the New Republic. I need help. He goes back to Tim Meadows' character, and he says, we need troops. We need something. Something's going on in Mandalore. I got a message saying it's the Empire Remnant. That means we can show up. That is our jurisdiction. If it's the Empire, we need to go do this. Elia Kane is helping him out, and she's in that office. And she either turns around and signals to the Empire Remnant and says, hey, they're onto us. And then Thrawn shows up. You know, maybe she's the one who signals Thrawn to show, or signal, I don't know. Because we don't fully know who she's working for yet. We would assume it's Gideon, but I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, though? I think we're going to see more Elia Kane, but I think that's going to be her role next week, is she's going to signal either Thrawn or more Imperial Remnant to come back when Carson Teva goes to get help. That makes perfect sense if something like that happens. Yeah, remember all this. Remember this next week when we're watching it. See you later, package. Playing music at a local bar tonight. Hey, nice. That's fun. Felt weird for Pershing to be in the recap just to be brushed off again. True, but I mean, they briefly mentioned it. Maybe that's... I don't know. I really don't know. That's a good point, though. I think there might be more there, but I don't know. I just don't know, man. I think she killed the doctor when she turned up the mine. That's very possible. That was it. Like, no, that's the end. There's no coming back from that. They made a bigger deal about that earlier in the season about, like, oh, no, I heard he was hooked up to a mind flayer. And then that happens to Pershing. So, I don't know. You're liking the story plot? You like it? Should be right. Yeah, maybe. This is the good question here, man overboard. Who made Moff Gideon's armor? Didn't the armorer say in season 1 that creating Mandalorian armor is a lost art? That sounds right. And one of the theories I had last night when someone brought that up, well, who created his armor? Who made that fancy helmet? It's new. He said it's new. He's got it. It's, you know, but the best thing about it is I'm in it. The armorer. She's the only one we know so far who knows how to make armor that we've seen in the show. I mean, the Bo-Katan's people, they have armor that probably wasn't made by the armorer, but we don't know if that armor that goes way back. You know, that's the hard part. But we also know that the armorer in season 3, the very beginning, season 1, she pours the water, the living waters, into her forge, and it turns the water green. She made it seem like she's never seen the mythosaur. She made it seem like the living waters on Mandalore were not, they're not really obtainable. When, like, it's like, well, the only way to cleanse yourself is to bathe in the living waters of Mandalore, but that planet's poisoned and the planet's destroyed. You can't actually do that. She made it seem like it was impossible, yet she's got vials of that water. Where's she getting those vials from? Who made the armor? This is why I can't trust the armorer. You can't trust her. Because, who made that stuff? She's working for Thrawn while under the guise of working for Gideon. Oh, double cross. Okay. I think she works for Gideon. Seems like they're all separate sects. Possibly. You like that? Dude, that Gideon helmet's sick. Imagine that is a Black Series helmet. Give it 2 years. It's factory made like his droids were. Plus, I think he took pieces from them. You think so? What's possible if he had? He said it was the. You know what? You're right, because he said he used the resources of the planet Mandalore. It's like, thanks to your resources, referring to Beskar, and that's probably how he made the Dark Troopers. Okay. Plus, I think he took pieces from the Dark Troopers. Yeah. But is it Mandalorian armor? Beskar is just a material. Doesn't mean it's Mandalorian armor. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. And we know he could make the Dark Troopers. So... No, Gwendolyn Christie does not play the armor. That is... Oh my god, I'm blanking on her name. Guys, drop it in the chat. I met her. She's technically part of the Batu Bounty Hunter Guild. She has one of our pins. I'm blanking on her. Emily Swallow. But yeah, thank you. Oh yeah, Joe, you got it. Emily Swallow. Yeah, Gwendolyn Christie is Phasma. That's Phasma. I think it's bastardized Beskar, like Mando's is pure Beskar, because the huge amount he got from the Grogu deal. Others' armor is alloy. Oh, okay. Getting real technical with the with the metallurgy. Then below that is the Empire's Beskar, like armor. Is that the right word? Metallurgy? I don't know. All right, how's that poll going? 40 votes, more than half of you. 57% are saying no, no, no. 43% said yes, yes, yes. Okay. Then let me get a read for the room here. Next poll. I want to word this the right way, because sometimes these polls, when it's yes or no answers, there's a lot of gray, wiggle room, and it's like if you don't specifically ask it a certain way, it could change the outcome. The framing of the question is... I'm just going to put it out. Is the armor the spy? Is the armor the spy? What do you think? Do you think the armor is the one who sold them out, who helped plant them, who backed them into that trap? Do you think it is? Dahi, what's going on? Good evening. Late to the chat. No worries. Been just hanging out tonight. About the last hour and 20 minutes, according to my software. Probably due for a break. It's 12:21. It's late. It's late. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts here. Where's the vote going? So earlier we got 21 votes real quick. 64% say yeah. You guys think armor is the spy? Think she's a shady lady? I think so too. But I could also see them planting those seeds. Like, every time they show, there's been a lot of moments where they show her, and like there's this little music cue that's like, or the way the camera moves on her. It's very like ominous. It's very like, okay, something's up, right? There's a reason we all feel she's shady, and that happens in the direction of the show. They do that on purpose. We're meant to feel that way. They've shot it that way. They've put music cues that way, so we feel that. But why? What if they did that to be like, just kidding, gotcha? Lead us in that direction. That doesn't always play well when you do that. If you do that, you got to have one heck of a gotcha moment if you're going to pull that move. Otherwise, it doesn't land, and it's like, well, why'd you do that? But it can be done. It can be done, and it can be done in a way it's like, oh, what? I thought it was going to be this. My mind is blown. But the ending has to be so good that you don't care that you were led on or misled. It's got to be that good. And so, I don't know. Gideon was surprised by the Mandalorians joining up. If Armor was a spy, he would have had a heads up. Great point. Well, then what if she's working with Thrawn? What if she's working with Thrawn? Honestly, don't know how to answer that. She's up to something, but I don't know if she's working for the Empire. That's what I was saying. Like, the framing of the question, there are some gray areas, and that's one of them. She's up to something, but not sure if it's Empire. That's fair. Like the polls, it's fun to see what everyone's thinking. Yeah, it's a good way to gauge everyone's thoughts. So if you guys have any more ideas for polls, throw them down. I'm down to put them up for the crowd to decide and figure out, so we can get your thoughts. I don't want to believe it, but yeah. Oh yeah, you think she's bad? She's a bad dude. I think the people they rescued are the spies. Okay, the pirates. I'm just going to refer to them as pirates because they were pirates, right? I mean, the guy was in a crow's nest and he says, off the starboard bow. Like, there's been a lot of pirates this season. I like that. In this episode in particular had elements of pirates and it had elements of like knights and queen. That moment I keep talking about with Bo and Din and him like pledging himself to Lady Kreese. It had very much had like knights in armor, little shining armor, like literally knights in shining armor, kind of vibes. But at the same time, had very much like actual pirates with like sails and the pirates like turning the cranks to open the sails to catch. It was very pirates. We had earlier in the season Gorian Shard and Vane and their giant corsair ship. I love it. Give me more Star Wars pirate stuff. I think this might be it for now. I think they were like, no, we're gonna do our pirate themed kind of stuff and go there. I think that might be it. We don't need a ton of it, but I think it worked and I really enjoy it and I love it. Give me more of that. They're right out of. I've never seen Ice Pirates, but I'm here for all of the pirate stuff. I really am. I do have to say I love that a show with so many characters with full helmets gives us right. Like you can't see their faces, and it really does give us a lot of emotion. And I mean, that's shouts to the actors, the voice actors. They give it too, but also the people who are in the suits, which isn't always, it's not always Pedro Pascal. It's the Brendan Waynes. It's these other people that are really in there doing a lot of the action, doing a lot of that movement. That's who gives it. It's a team. It's a whole team. It's a whole team that gets it done. I don't think the armor will be happy to hear. I know those two have been bosom buddies from the beginning, right? Like they're they're close. They've always been together as far as we've seen them. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Moff Gideon got his armor from the machine creature. Oh, I don't think that the little crab thing. I think that was just a random thing. It was cool, but I think we haven't seen any more of that. Wait, what is this? What if Yoda shows? No, Yoda's dead. No, Mando happens after original trilogy. Yoda's long dead, my dude. Yoda is long dead. He got tired of Luke's BS and just like faded away. He's like, "Stop talking to me, kid." Disappeared. It's like, "You're a whiny kid. Leave me alone." Yeah. Okay. So where are we at on this? 68% of you are saying she is the spy. A little more than half of you. 68% thinks armor is the spy. 34 or 66% now. 34% say no. Some of you, I'm sure, are mixed on that and vote. I think some of you said you voted no because you weren't sure she's exactly the spy. But interested to see if Din will show up in Ahsoka with how much he's involved with Thrawn. Well, not if he's dead. I'm sticking with that one. That's my theory. I think we're gonna lose Din, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Yeah, Yoda's Force Ghost could show up, but I don't think that would belong in this show. It could. Yoda's Force Ghost does show up later in Star Wars, a couple times, but that's sequel stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Cheshire Cat, welcome. As far as original trilogy that could show up, Leia, Han, or Chewie. Oh. I would put my money more on Boba Fett than I would anyone else because he at least has Mandalorian armor, Okay, you know what? This is something we haven't touched on. I'm going to end that poll. I've got another one for you guys. But as far as, put your thoughts in about original trilogy, Leia, Han, and Chewie. I don't think any of those show up. Okay. I think this one's going to be the slam dunk with yeses, but I kind of want to know. I think maybe there might be, and vote and then leave me your thoughts. But here's the next poll. Will we see the Mythosaur next week? Like I said, I think it's going to be a slam dunk. I think, yeah. Why would they give it to us and then not come back to it? Everything they've given us in the first couple episodes, they've come back to. Whether it was the pirates, whatever, the quest for returning IG-11 back to a useful droid. Guess what? They just wrapped that up. He's a useful droid again. He's mech armor for Grogu. The pirates, that came back a couple episodes later. They wrapped that up. Mythosaur. Will we see the Mythosaur? Mythosaur. Oh, Galen. That would explain why that was Brendan Wayne's favorite weapon. That would explain why that's his favorite weapon. That's a good thought. That's a really good thought. Absolutely yes, says Breaking 407 over on Twitch. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh. Yes, let's just throw in some angry Wookiees for fun. Why not? Why not? Because why the heck not? If they do more pirate stuff, I want a New Republic era Hondo series. You know, New Republic era pirates, skeleton crew. I think, hear me out, we don't know much about that show other than it's like real life everyday people that get involved, like kids, and they get involved into a Star Wars adventure. And we know Vane from this, Vane the pirate who took off after Gorian Chard's ship got taken out. Vane shows up in the little preview for Skeleton Crew. So that pirate comes back. So we know there's going to be pirates. They've made references about Skeleton Crew saying it's got Goonies, Amblin, 80s Spielberg movie kind of vibes. If they say Goonies a few times in interviews and stuff and panels. Goonies to me says pirates. Skeleton Crew gives me kind of like pirates thoughts. Hondo is a possibility for something. And this is for another discussion. I'm just kind of getting on a tangent here. But you brought it up. You brought up Republic era Hondo series. I think Hondo could show up in Skeleton Crew if we're throwing that kind of stuff around. But back to the Mythosaur. Grogu will tame the Mythosaur. Okay? We may get a glimpse of it again, but I doubt we'll see the whole creature. It seems big. It seems very big. The Mythosaur will wreck the Moff's base. The Mythosaur is down there. Good point. Good point. Dinner Bow will ride the Mythosaur into battle. Okay. Book of Boba Fett, Rancor came back, and Boba wrote it. Mandalorian, Mythosaur comes back. But who rides it, Joel? Who rides it? Or does nobody ride it? I think the Mythosaur will arrive fashionably late in the season finale. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. For Star Wars back to the 90s, Disney should have brought back. Hey, Jinkos didn't go away. You can still buy Jinkos. I saw like there's an article going around like a couple years ago. Like, no, Jinkos is back. They didn't disappear. They still make jeans. They look different, but dude, who all here wore Jinkos at some point? Guilty. I had some big ass Jinkos at one point. I had some normal ones too. It's ones that weren't as baggy, but I did own a pair or two of some baggy old Jinkos, and I'm glad photos don't exist of it. You never have enough Wookiees. And if you don't know what Jinkos are, you're too young. The whole Mandalorian. All of the Mandalorians could ride them. That would be pretty crazy if they all rode it. Oh my goodness. You could be really happy if Hondo was involved in Skeleton Crew. I think so, man. I think so. Hondo's totally going to be in Skeleton Crew. Hello, my friends. That'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. So what's it, Skeleton Crew? Yeah, like Stranger Things in space. Yeah, they've thrown Stranger Things, Goonies, and Stranger Things has Goonies vibes. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, it's not. I wouldn't say a mature show. It's Star Wars. It's kind of for everybody. You know, I wouldn't say mature. Remember, what was your refresh my memory, Breakin'? Refresh my memory. Jeff W. Boba, Fennec, Cobb, Chrysanthemum, drop it with Bombardier. Oh my god, his droid army. Whoa, they really bring everything full circle. You know, dude, okay. Hey, all right. Bo gets knocked down. Oh no, go put it back. There's a lot to read. Bo gets knocked down, about to be killed by Gideon, and Grogu force grabs Darksaber, wielding with IG-12 on a Mythosaur. Come on, with the short long going on too. A little business in front, party in back. I love it. That's an amazing picture, by the way. And the aviators. That's classic. I love it, dude. That's I. No one's mentioned Bombardier coming back in with the droid army. What do y'all think? I don't know. I'm into that. I can't do a poll like that. They have to be kind of yes or no questions, or 4, because I can't let people do a million answers. It doesn't work that way. I can do a max of 4 options. So it would have to be a poll. That's why I do yes or no's, because it's you gotta frame them that way. From the face we saw, it's full on Godzilla scale. Yeah, it's like a whole kaiju. We're getting major kaiju vibes this season too, right? Because we got the big monsters, big Godzilla style giant monsters, and we've got Grogu riding in a mech. We're getting like, I like it. I like where this is going. Jinko Fett, stop. Right now, a bunch of kids are googling Jinkos. Yeah, I know. Maybe the SOAR possible attack Empire soldiers and vehicles while they're still on man. Yeah. I'm too old. I have no idea what you're talking about. No worries. Remember there's a time in the 90s where all them dang kids were wearing big old giant baggy jeans. Not baggy. Ridiculously baggy jeans. Those were Jinkos. It was a brand of jeans that were clownishly baggy. Mythosaur eats kid. Oh, Mythosaur eats kid. That's here. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Next Star Wars thing to come out, Visions. Absolutely. It comes out May 4th. That's not like a long thing to watch, though. That's going to be like a one and done. You watch that in a day. Now, what is the creature 36 minutes in the show? We don't know. We don't know what that is. They haven't said it yet. Lazy King, you just subbed on Twitch, right? Nice, dude. Or followed on Twitch. Now, Grogu presses the no button when Bo is about to be killed by Moff. You see the foot come down and you hear, no. And then the Darksaber lights up. Yep, it looks like a Zillow, but we didn't see enough to be sure. Yep. I think everyone's head is thinking Zillow just because of Bad Batch, but I would imagine it's something different. That's my guess. Armor's working with the Empire, and we will see Mandalorians who escaped go and get the Mythosaur. Okay, I like it. Ask who will ride, Bo or Din. Okay, give me two more options. I'm gonna put a 4 option on this one. I can do a who will ride, Bo. Who's gonna ride the Mythosaur? Bo, Din. Give me 2 more plausible options that you all think, and I'll put that as a poll, and we'll vote. I think the pirate Mandalorians are the spies as they led Bo and. I was saying that earlier. That's very possible. They let him right into that, right into the trap. Have a good night, Joel. See ya. Okay, well, what do we got, Jeff? We got Din, Bo, Grogu, or Boba. I'm gonna drop Boba because we don't know if he's even gonna be in the show. But Din, Bo, Grogu. I like those 3. Someone give me another one. Or should I just put other? Because other could be anything. Other, you could, as long as it's someone that's not those 3, but you think someone's gonna write it, that falls into other. I kind of like that. Because that's open. That's like, someone's going to write it, but I don't know. How do you feel about that? I had some Jinko back in the day. Mullet pick was from 92 when I was 19. Dude, that's a sick picture. I love it. I'm a big 90s nerd, so I'm all about that stuff. Well, I feel like Grogu will end up with the dark side. A lot of people are feeling that way. Bo, Din, Grogu, and no one. I think that's a good option. No, you know what? I like that the most. Because it's possible we see it show up, but nobody rides it. I think that's more likely than a rando, right? All right, so everyone thinks we're seeing the Mythosaur. 88% say yes, 12% say no. More than half of you voted on that. So let's start a new poll. Okay, who will ride since we all think it's going to show up? Mythosaur. Bo. Actually, I'm gonna change the order because sometimes the order of the options has an effect on how people vote. Nobody. Add an option. Okay, here we go. It's up. Go ahead and vote. I put all 4 in there in kind of a weird order. Nobody, Bo-Katan, Grogu, or Din. Who is going to ride that Mythosaur next week? Vote. I want to know your thoughts. Paz for sure. No, Paz can't ride it. Too soon. Axe Woves? I don't know about Axe. I don't think he would take it. No one is good? Yeah, I think nobody's good. I think it's a good. Paz's ghost. Oh no. Bubba was the OG Mythosaur rider in Legends. He was. Holiday special. holiday special. And so that, I mean, that technically wasn't a mythosaur in the holiday special. That was something else. But he became the Mandalore, so why not? Why not give the Legends people some of that stuff? It's a good way to take care of everybody. We get to see something cool. The old school fans who are like pining for the Legends to become canon, they get some of that. I think it's a good way to handle it. It's a good way to handle it. Let's see here. Paz Vizsla comes back like a boss riding back from death, like a boss riding the Mythosaur. Maybe. So they string him up and Weekend at Bernie's it. That's it. You like that? It's a dinosaur. We don't know if Boba's showing up. Oh, see, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't know if Boba's showing up. Money's on Fen Rao from Rebels. Oh, I believe it's RAU. Very close. Yeah. Okay. I mean, what happened to Fen Rao? What happened to Fen Rao? Yeah, Legends fans would freak out. They would love it. They'd be all for it. Let's see. Paz is the Force Ghost Rider. Star Wars becoming Jetsons vs. Flintstone. Oh my goodness. That's a movie I probably should rewatch. I love both of those properties. I really love Flintstones, actually. Like we've talked about this in streams before. We had our Fruity Pebbles conversations in the past. I really do love Flintstones a lot. There's something about it. It's just like Flintstones is always just, I love it. This poll could easily, right? It's a hard poll to vote on, but you can only get one vote. So you got to go with who you think it is most. Who do you think it's going to be a pretty split poll, right? So far, Bo-Katan, 37%. We only have half of you voted. 35 of you have voted. We got 73 people watching on YouTube. I think a handful over on Twitch. We got 4 on Twitch. Which, by the way, I think I want to stream more to Twitch. I need to stream more just on Twitch, not on YouTube as well. But it won't be as like important. Like these kind of streams, like I'll definitely always do on YouTube. But I think I'm gonna do more random, different stuff over on Twitch, more gaming stuff. I think I'm just gonna hang out and play something, you know. But I would like for you all to go follow me on Twitch to catch that kind of stuff over there. I will probably do late night random weird streams of Jedi Survivor over there. Stuff that I wouldn't want to do on the main channel, just like random playthroughs that are just going to be watching me play and talking a little bit. I'll do that over on Twitch because that's more of a Twitch thing than it is YouTube. You know? But yeah, and then you guys can slap fart stickers on the screen while I play video games. Okay, let's see here. Do you think Thrawn could show up at the end to deal with Gideon if the Mandalorians don't kill him? I think that's very likely. I think that's very likely a way we get Thrawn. What chance Luke drops in? Can't use him for season 2 finales in a row. That's what I think. I think you can't use him 2 season finales in a row. So because of that, chances drop a lot, and I don't think it's very likely. It's possible because I think just the prospect and the visual of seeing Grogu in IG-12 with a lightsaber, with Yoda's lightsaber, moving around like IG does, spinning around all crazy, but with Grogu at the controls, the idea of that is amazing. And, you know, like just the thought of it makes me think, I want to see that. Okay, you got to start connecting dots. How do we make that possible? Well, you'd have to have the lightsaber come back one way or another. Okay, who brings it to him? Luke. He's the one who has it. Ahsoka seemed like she was very touch and go with Luke. She would like they hadn't really talked in a while. She just showed up. It was like, hey, I'm just kind of here as a middleman. And that's it. You know, they weren't like close. And so Luke has the lightsaber. Luke just didn't give it to Ahsoka. So Ahsoka's not going to bring it. Luke's got to bring it if anybody does. So if we're going to see a lightsaber in Grogu's hand, I'm like, what is this? What's going on here? Oh, no. But yeah, maybe we don't see that. Maybe we don't see that till next season. Luke ending was awesome. If they did it again, it wouldn't be as impactful. I think you're right. Luke Wreck Shop. That's Luke, not a sad old man. I mean, he definitely was a sad old man some years later. Channel on Dano channel. There's no the on Twitch because some other dude has that, and he's not very. It's not great. It's fine, but I was like, someone jacked the Dano channel already, and they don't use it well. Could Visions have something? Visions is not canon story, so I mean, it might have something Ahsoka in it, but typically Vision stories haven't had any major characters in them. So no, I wouldn't look to Visions for anything impactful to story at all. Not at all. I wonder what role Luke will play, if any, in this whole Heir to the Empire storyline. That is a good question. That is a good question. I'm not familiar with the original material enough to give like a real thought on that. I'm just not. So I don't know. But those of you who are familiar with the original Thrawn trilogy, or heck, even the new trilogy, the newer books that are canon, what are your thoughts? What do you guys know about that? Is Luke a possibility? Would he play a role? Bubba will be back in season 4. I could see that. I could definitely see that. Let's see here. What else we got? How's this poll doing? Okay, let me check on the poll. 39 votes, so over half of you. 10% say nobody. Bo-Katan, 33% Bo-Katan. Grogu, 26%. And Din. So right now, Bo-Katan and Din are pretty close. 33 and 31%. Pretty much a split. On those two. Grogu's a little less at 26%. And nobody's only at 10. So that one's not as crazy. Let's see here. IG-12 spinning the lightsaber like Grievous, that'd be amazing. You think Ahsoka and the Ghost Crew show up? I think it's too soon. I think we save that for the next show. I think we save that kind of stuff for the next show. It's possible. Let's see here. There's a whole cloning story with Luke in that storyline. Han and Leia were heavily involved. Then I would imagine no. I would imagine if they're all involved, then no. It just doesn't. You could try and do you could bring back Alden Ehrenreich to play young Solo. I don't think that's the right move right now. I don't think deep faking more characters is the answer. It's fine in those cool cameos, like the end of season 2 of Mando, where Luke showed up for a little bit and we got a couple scenes of him, or the episode of Book of Boba Fett where we saw him a little bit. But I don't want a lot of that. I think you use it sparingly, you use it and make it impactful. But you start doing it too much, we start seeing deep-faked Carrie Fisher or deep-faked Harrison Ford, it's not gonna land. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work with a lot of that. You do it sparingly, you do it here and there, so it makes sense, and it's like, oh no, that was cool. But it stops there, that was cool. You keep doing it over and over, and it's gonna be like, okay, it's getting weird. I'm definitely watching like a CGI person talk to, it just doesn't, I think too much of that's a bad thing. I feel like Paz's death will be avenged in the season finale. I think that's a good point. Yeah, who does it though? Who avenges the death? Total left field surprise. Mace Windu shows up. That would be out of nowhere. Absolutely out of nowhere. They'll probably save the whole team up for the. That's a good point. That is a very good point. They're putting all their pieces on the table, right? So we're getting Rebels pieces soon, and it would make sense for Ahsoka to be leading into more Thrawn, because that didn't fully get resolved in Rebels. I mean, Ezra used the Purgles to go into hyperspace with Thrawn inside the Star Destroyer, right? And just dipped and went off to who knows where. And that was kind of it. And then they spent the time looking for Ezra and never could find him. And so now we're going to catch up with all of that. And so it'd be a cool way to resolve Rebels, to do it in this movie. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Indiana Jones comes out in June. I don't think any more deepfakes, right? And they don't want to recast either, exactly. Although they probably should have been open to it before. I think now is a little too late. I think Bo-Katan will sacrifice herself for Din, because Paz sacrificed himself for her and the Mandalorians. Oh, okay, and give Bo the heroic send-off. Okay. If they were to do that, apparently, wait, no, I missed something. There we go. If they were to do that, they should simply recast. We got fan favorites from recast like Ewan McGregor. Good point on the recast. But that's hard because that was a completely different era. I mean, you could. That's a really good point. And on screen, we've got more Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan than we did Alec Guinness, right? So, it could happen. It could happen. Definitely could. Apparently, Ahsoka will be the Empire Strikes Back of this heir to the Empire storyline. Ooh, okay. So the middle part, the where things get bad. Here we go. Tar Vizsla, first Mandalorian Jedi with Darksaber. Now Grogu just got his droid body. We've seen him tame a Rancor. I predict he'll be the new Mandalore. He stopped Paz and Axe from fighting, and united. Yeah, he did. Grogu will be the new Mandalore. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Back to the Future. It was, but I mean, are you talking about Eric Stoltz recast as Michael J. Fox? Because we never saw Eric Stoltz on camera. We only saw Michael J. Fox on camera. The only person that got recast... Who actually got... Okay, explain on that, Aisley. Who actually got recast in Back to the Future? Because I can't think of any of the main characters that got recast with someone else in Back to the Future. I might be, like, completely skipping something, but I don't think anybody that was on camera in a movie showed up later in Back to the Future as being... Oh, Jennifer, right? Wasn't Jennifer someone else? It was Elizabeth. It wasn't Elizabeth Shue in one of them. Maybe it was. I'm blanking. I think Jennifer was someone different. But Jennifer was kind of a side character. To be real, she wasn't like. It wasn't Doc. It wasn't Marty. It wasn't Biff. Grogu the Peacemaker. Yep. Grogu. But yeah, no. Aisley, tell me more. Who are you talking about? Was recast in Back to the Future? Because I can't think of who. Okay. Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah. Okay. How do you guys feel about that? I feel like that's minor. I feel like Jennifer, sure, she was kind of a driving force in 2, but she wasn't really in it a ton. Yeah, I don't know. Let's say, did Crispin Glover? He didn't get recast, but they reused his likeness without his permission, and that was a whole thing. There's a whole like drama about that. It was Elizabeth Shue. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that one. You're right. She did get recast, but. I don't know. I feel like that one's not as impactful. That's not a Han. That's not a Leia. She wasn't that integral to the story. You know, she didn't have that. She was like the 80s movie girlfriend. You know, like there wasn't a lot of depth to her character other than damsel in distress at some point. You know, like she was asleep one whole movie. In the second one, I feel like there's not. She was minor. I feel like she's minor. Yeah, Claudia Wells in the first one, Elizabeth Shue in the second. I don't think that counts. That's my opinion. I really hope season 4 of Mando is better paced and doesn't have 6 pivotal plot points going all at once. Oh, I like that. I like the spread out and bring it all back together thing. Because they're tying them up now. It's all coming together. It feels good to me. Moff Gideon and the armor both have horns in their helmets. That's a good point. Horns represent Maul's Mandalorians from Clone Wars. Do you think Darth Maul was clapped? Threw that out earlier. I think it's possible. I don't think it's, I wouldn't throw it out. I think it's definitely possible. I don't think it's super likely, but it's possible. It's. I don't think they'll go that way really. But it could happen. Let's see here. Because Lance Henderson was cast as Well, but that doesn't count though. Like that happens all the time. Even in Back to the Future, Eric Stoltz was going to be Marty, and then they end up going with Michael J. Fox for a different reason. But that happened before cameras, or before before it hit theaters. There is footage of Eric Stoltz playing him, but I think it was Eric Stoltz, right? I think it was who it was. Yeah, that doesn't count if the movie didn't come out with that character in it. I remember Jean-Claude Van Damme was cast as the Predator before. What? Really? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Watered down Sunny D vodka seltzer. I can do better. No, they won't clone Darth Maul, or else it ruins the. Yeah, we said that earlier too. It does take away from that arc. It does. You're absolutely right. I think Gideon used the horns as an intimidation tactic because he conquered Mandalore before. Okay. All right. Okay, my friends. I think it's time. I've streamed for the last almost 2 hours here. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go do other stuff, and then go to bed. I'm going to get out of the seat. I've been sitting in this chair for so long. I got little white fuzzies on me. Let's end that poll. We got 45 votes. Most of you voted. 31% are saying Bo-Katan. 31% are saying Bo-Katan. Grogu in second place with 28. Oh, tied for second. Din, 28%. Nobody, 11%. Ooh, this is some, Angus bringing up a good point. They did that with Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle in Iron Man 1 and 2. But again, secondary character. So that's not a main. That's not a main. And if Iron Man was more of an ensemble cast, like it was more of the story revolved around all these bigger, different characters. Because I feel like Leia and Han aren't secondary. I feel like they're, to me, I mean, I guess you could say Luke is number one and all the rest are secondary and third, tertiary, whatever. I feel like Luke, Han, and Leia and Chewie in the original trilogy are equal. They're all one big clump of awesomeness in their own different ways. And so that's not, that's not the side character. War Machine, Brody, I feel like he's very much side character. In 2, he was way more prominent as Don Cheadle. When they brought him into 2, and he actually was a bigger, more important character. Right? That was 2. And it was Cheadle in 2? Or was it... I forget. But I'm going to end the stream. I've been going for too long. I'm starting to lose my mind here. Great stream. Looking forward to Mandalorian episode. Tuesday night. We will see you guys Tuesday night. I think I'm going to do I might do an Opus stream during the day. One of these days. We'll see. Ooh, that's a good one. Recasting Dumbledore. That's actually one of the best ones. That's the best example anyone's brought up. The recasting of Dumbledore. But didn't the original actor die? Those are extenuating circumstances. That changes things. If I could be wrong about that. I thought the actor died. I'm not super up on my Potter wisdom. If they did, I like the actor who was Rhodey. I liked him too, Terrence Howard. I liked him in one, but I love Don Cheadle. I do love me some Don Cheadle. So I wasn't mad about that recasting. What about Ed Norton and Mark Ruffalo? Okay, but that's true. But the Ed Norton, see, this is the caveats come in here, because Ed Norton, that Hulk movie, you could say that was before the MCU was a thing, because that came out before Iron Man. And Iron Man is really when they went into MCU. The Ed Norton Hulk movie was before Iron Man, wasn't it? Even though it does have an end credits scene with Samuel L. Jackson doing a whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nick Fury thing. So, and they brought that into the MCU. But that was before Favreau did Iron Man and did MCU. And then they redid it. So, like, that Hulk movie with Ed Norton was brought in to the MCU once they made the MCU. They're like, yeah, that old movie, technically it counts. You can hang out with us too. It wasn't made at the same time. But you're right. That is a recasting. And that is a main character. But Hulk himself has always been kind of a secondary character until the Avengers movie. He just kind of showed up in things. I don't know. That one's tough. Yeah, so Hulk was pre-MCU. So I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if I would count that as the same. I think Dumbledore, he did die. And so yeah, no, I've got a little clap back for every one of these you're throwing out. Dumbledore died, so that you got to recast. You just have to recast. You have to recast. Hulk thing, Ed Norton to Ruffalo. They could have gone with Norton, but again, that movie didn't necessarily count until they were like, yeah, you can come hang out with us. So it was different. Multiple Spideys. Those are different universe. Well, now they're one universe, technically, Spider-Verse. But prior, those were different studios making them. I mean, technically it's always been Sony, but they were resets of the entire universe. Star Wars is still Star Wars universe. It's all one galaxy, right? It's not like they've said, well, this is a different Star Wars. Visions, I guess, could count as that, but it doesn't. It's just like these are just silly stories. But Star Wars is still one big cohesive Star Wars. They haven't been like, okay, this is a different version of Star Wars that exists over here. That's where these movies are. If they were to say, well, the sequel trilogies have nothing to do with it, some people would like that. But some people pretend that. But no, they're not. Sequel trilogies count as the original trilogies do, as the prequels. It's all one Star Wars. So that's different. Thoughts on if we could see Snoke in the end credits scene? You know what? Give it to me. Give it to me. I want it. I want it. I don't think we will, but oh yeah, sure. Yeah, Eric Bana was before Norton, but that was a completely different thing altogether. So yeah, Nicolas Cage is. Wait, they never gave him a Superman, did they? Or was that like a fan thing? I know he wanted it. He wanted it forever. May 2nd for Iron Man and June 13th for the Hulk. Really? Both in 08. Oh, but they weren't related. They weren't tied together. They didn't count. Hulk. It wasn't it not the same studio? I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. That is interesting though. I did not know. That's a good point, Angus. I did not know Iron Man came out before. That changes things a little bit. But still, it's known that the Hulk they were not related movies. And it wasn't until afterwards when they started establishing the MCU that they said, oh, it's 1 a.m. That they said, Hulk, you can count. I guess we'll count you. But we're going to go with Mark Ruffalo. Recast the guy playing Chewie. Again, that's after a death. Yeah, that doesn't count. Iron Man was the first official MCU movie. But the MCU wasn't a thing until Iron Man was successful. You know, they didn't make Iron Man and be like, we're going to do this great giant thing. It was like, hey, we're going to do this thing and hope it goes well. If it goes well, I got some ideas. But it wasn't like, no, we're going to do this. This is the great overarching plan. There's like, hey, I've got some thoughts. If we can land this one, maybe we can convince them to let us do more. And it worked, and it did. And then we got the MCU as a post-product of Iron Man 1 doing well. Iron Man 1 and Hulk were made at the same time under completely different, ideas. They were not supposed to be linked together. So yeah, like Snoke in the end credits, but might be after next. Yeah, I like it too. They're planning on it. Probably look goofy. He probably would look goofy in the suit. You're right. Mayhew hadn't died yet. That's correct. I totally messed that up. You're right. But he was recast because Peter Mayhew, he didn't do it anymore. And he actually, he helped with training Eunice, and they spent time together. And, so it was definitely done with blessing. And that's also different because you don't see their faces on camera. They're in a costume. So I'm slapping all these away. Get out of here. None of these count. I'm going to bed. Good night. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Hit that thumbs up button on the way out. I'm going to call it a night, baby. I will see you guys very soon. Until next time, it's good night. But now goodbye. See ya.